Wow. Happy New Year. And didn't take very long for the media to start pumping out things that are at the very least a bit questionable. It's been a long time since I've touched upon any ISIS jihadi mastermind related narratives, but the events that took place in Manchester last night, I'm not disputing that something happened or not, but the narrative really is a bit questionable. It's got all the hallmarks of what ordinarily would have been considered a long time ago by myself as a hoax, at the very least a false flag or something along those lines. But even the video here of the supposed jihadi mastermind, well, jihadi mastermind to be, because the police have not confirmed whether or not it was terror related, even though he was supposedly shouting Allahu Akbar. And the narrative's strange because we were led to believe that he stabbed an old woman in the face, an old man, and a cop. And this was all witnessed by a BBC producer, and I'm not sure if this is who's recording this video. And if it is, then he's really gone and fucked himself up, because he came out at the time last night and said that he heard this guy shouting Allahu Akbar, and the reason that he did it was that things like this are going to continue to happen as long as we're bombing their countries or something like that. But the guy that's recording this video says he couldn't make out a damn thing as to what the guy was muttering. But I mean, we'll play the video. Right off the bat, you'll notice you can't hear the cop yet. They're just kind of all hurdled around this guy in the deck. And people in the background are walking about completely normal. And when this cameraman gets close enough, this cop here turns as if to indicate, right, he's close enough now, action. And then they all start talking, shouting at the guy in the deck. Now surely they'd be shouting at him now, and you'd hear him now, but they don't. They're not even talking. It's really fucking weird. Now this guy has just stabbed someone. Well, stabbed 3 people apparently. Quite when he managed to stab the cop is beyond me, because, well, we'll get to what the BBC producer who was conveniently there, he said, which his version of events kind of fucks this video up slightly, so something's not right, something's amiss.
Two guys
have been stabbed, but then it turns into a guy and a woman. What's he doing? What is he doing? What the fuck is he? I mean, this is so bizarre.
Jesus.
I don't hear any Allah Akbar chants, and I don't see any injured parties, even though the guy goes over and zooms in the blood of the deck. Usual script.
I'm not sure exactly what has happened, but some guy has just run up to someone with a knife, and it looks like he's stabbed him because there's blood on the floor. I don't know where the guy is who was stabbed. He was shouting something which I couldn't quite make out. He's been tasered and now he's on the ground, but
I couldn't make out what he was saying, but yet the BBC producer claims that you could hear Allah Akbar being chanted.
I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
Do you know where the 2 blokes have gone?
The two blokes. That's interesting. Now, this was the witness that was supposedly feet away from the events that transpired. Yeah, I don't see it with the video that I just played. And he happens to be a BBC producer. What are the chances of that? I mean, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. I mean, there was the Daily Express editor who managed to fight off a jihadi mastermind with a machete in the attack in London last year. And then there was the BBC journalist or reporter who happened to be on the scene at the very same time as the failed Parsons Green bomb. You know, it seems to be a regular occurrence that there's always somebody on the scene that's got some form of journalism or media establishment background. Anyway, if you come down to his tweet from the time, and he says, just been very close to the most terrifying thing. Man stabbed a Manchester Victoria Station on tram platform, feet from me. I was close to jumping on the tracks as attacker had a long kitchen knife, totally shaken. This is seriously messed up. There is a photo doing the rounds without the blurred images. For some reason I can't find it now. But the woman here, and supposedly was stabbed in the face, has got the proverbial bandage that they always seem to have on. And as I said, I'm not disputing whether or not something happened, but there's just so many holes in this story purely from what people that claim to have been there have put out, including the conveniently placed BBC producer and the video. The woman was stabbed in the face and stomach, and the man was stabbed in the gut, and what police said was a critical incident. Wow, they're just sitting there. The guy's been stabbed in the gut, and she's been stabbed in the face, and they're just sitting there. She doesn't look too bothered. She doesn't look too bothered. They look alright, all things considered. And where's this cop that was stabbed? Has he been taken away in an ambulance already? Then surely they could have been at the same time. Something's not right. Anyway, Sam Clark, the producer, said cops used a taser and pepper spray before 6 or 7 officers jumped on the man who ranted about British foreign policy. But the guy in the video that I just played said that he couldn't make out what he was saying. So how could Sam Clark hear it? Mr. Clark said, I just heard the most blood-curdling scream and looked down the platform where it looked like it was a guy in his 60s with a woman of similar age and another guy all dressed in black. They were having a fight, but she was screaming in this blood-curdling way. Footage appeared to show an officer picking up the knife. Oh, well, that's good of him. Didn't really look like that from what I seen. It didn't look like he picked up anything. I saw police in high-vis come towards him. He came towards me, I looked down and he saw he had a kitchen knife with a black handle with a good 12-inch blade. It was just pure fear. Mr. Clark from Newcastle had been out with friends and was waiting for the East Didsbury tram home when the attack happened. He said when he heard the knifeman shouting Allah during the attack, he added, he shouted it before, he shouted it during. Allah. As police appeared within seconds. Now even that in itself is somewhat suspicious, because if this was for any reason fake or staged or a drill perhaps, then of course the police would be on the scene near enough instantaneously, immediately. That's how they roll in these situations. They're never there when anything really fucking serious happens, but they're always there for the suspicious things. Within seconds the knife man back down the platform towards where he was standing alone. He continued, I just had a feeling in the pit of my stomach. Here's a man who's very agitated, angry, skittish. It appears he already attacked someone. He had police coming towards him and he's coming towards me. I thought what I need to do is jump in the trucks because next thing he's going to do is turn around and stab me. He's looking about, side to side and jumpy. At one point, one of the police officers fired the taser but it missed him. Then he got pepper sprayed and tasered and he went to the ground. The guy, his exact words were, he said, as long as you keep bombing other countries, this sort of shit is going to keep happening. Yet the video that I just played, not a damn word was uttered from that guy. He was, and then of course Mr. Clark said that he realised the man in the 60s had been stabbed as there was blood splattered on the platform. Is he the guy that did the video? I'm really struggling to understand this. He was stabbed in the head and once in the back, so it's the back now. I thought it was the cat. His shirt was covered in blood. His partner was 60ish. She had a bandage on her head. Oh, a fucking bandage. Oh, I'll save her. She's been stabbed in the head. Don't worry. She's got a bandage on. Fuck, stab someone in the head. They just get stabbed in those ridiculous places. Yeah, it was scary. I'd never been so scared in my life. Someone with a knife 6 to 8 feet away. You just stabbed someone. Another witness told the mayor I heard the most blood-curdling scream I've ever heard and turned to see everyone run towards me. Some guy told me to run, and here's the herd mentality, because even if this was all completely fake, Rebecca would be none the wiser. Assistant Chief Constable Rob Potts of Greater Manchester Police said tonight's events will have understandably worried people, but I need to stress that the incident is not ongoing. A man is in custody and there is currently no intelligence to suggest that there is any wider threat at this time. That is questionable as well. How could you possibly know that? See, things like that is what makes me sceptical of these narratives, because for all they knew, he was one of many jihadi masterminds that were going to strike that night. They couldn't possibly have known, yet the New Year's celebration still went on into the early hours of the morning. People none the fucking wiser. So for all they knew, there could have been on the verge of becoming victim to jihadi mastermind, a terror attack 2, 3, 4, 5. They just don't know. But they had no reason to assume that there could be any more. How could they possibly know that? Anyhow.
Khalifi! Allahu Akbar!
Right, okay. So that's the only footage of him shouting Allah Akbar. Well, apparently, according to the BBC producer, he was shouting it during and after the event. But the video that I played at the start, you don't hear him saying a damn thing. It's very questionable. Something's a bit strange with this whole thing. But I mean, even this, they said that they had closed off the place, completely sealed it off. Well, the police started their inquiries, but you can see in every one of these photos that the media pumped out, there's people standing about. You know what I mean? Fucking. Now this does remind me of a terrorist attack that I covered years ago with a knife that had no blood. How can a knife that's just punctured 3 people not have a speck of blood in it? You really can't expect people to take this. I don't know. Something's amiss here. And all this does undoubtedly is create more friction, tension and animosity between the British people and the Muslim community. That's what this does. I don't know. I mean, fuck off. No blood at all. Absolutely no blood. Right, okay. Anyway, this video is getting a bit long. I think I will leave a note. And of course, right on cue, after the security ministers a couple of weeks ago were warning us that there would be terror attacks looming in 2019, the ISIS jihadi masterminds are now threatening British extremists to carry out horror and misery. What a load of fucking bullshit. Oh god, just can't believe this crap's getting a wee revamp. It's such bullshit. You really think there's jihadi masterminds roaming our streets that are just being monitored? Then you really need a reality check. Like, such bullshit. And how do we know that this is in fact actually being threatened? Of course, these jihadi messages are intercepted by site intelligence and their good old friend, a different one this time, called Global Intelligent Insight. I wonder if it's just site intelligence with a different name. Anyway, I better go. Too long now. I might make another video if anything more substantial comes to light, but as I said, I'm not entirely sure. I just think the narrative's a bit strange regarding this particular event, so I thought I would give my 2 cents. I'm not saying that nothing happened. I'm not saying that something did happen. I don't know. God knows. Alright. Peace.